afternoon and welcome to the Hickory Rotary Club. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My
country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Please remain standing while Mike Johnson leads us in invocation.
Pray with me, please. Father God, we are wrapped with tragedy. Young people drowning in our local lake, fires in California, hundreds of people missing in an airplane we can't find, hundreds of people dead in a mine disaster, and they go on and on. It's easy, Lord, at these times for us to ask, where are you, God? And yet we forget that we are not hungry. We have a shelter over our head. We have the love of friends and family, and we have fellowship with fellow Rotarians. Father, we ask you and thank you for your grace. We now ask you, Lord, that you bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies. Bless the hand and prepared it. In your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing for the song of the day.
On top of Old Smoky, all covered with snow. Hope that's not prophetic. On top of
Old Smoky, all covered with snow, I lost my true lover by courting too slow. Now courting's a pleasure, but parting's a grief. A false-hearted lover is worse than a thief.
Pretty good. You may be seated with some pride remaining. I really only know that tune for On Top of Spaghetti, so I had to look at the words. Does anybody else know On Top of Spaghetti? Okay, thank you. Joe, can you help us introduce the visiting Rotarians today?
Lake Hickory, Floyd Lucas, Maurice Katz, Newton Conover, George Moretz.
Thank you guys for being with us today. Again, we're always accepting transfers from our regular visitors if you would like to join this club since you're here so often. Any guests of Rotarians in the dining room today? Do you have any guests to my right? Yes, Mark.
It's my pleasure, Madam President, to have David Markso from Comstock.
Welcome, David. Any guests in the center of the dining room? I think I see some.
Yes, I'm pleased to introduce Marietta Burke with Belle LaBerre Stained Glass in Newton.
Welcome, Marietta. We'll get to our guest of honor here in the center in a little while. Any guests to my left today? Okay. We will now move to the Rotary moment then, Anne.
That's Rosemary. I know it's not you all the way in front. Thank you for that rousing round of applause. On a very serious note, Hickory lost a wonderful public servant when Bill McDonald passed away this week, and Bill was a former member, I guess, of the Hickory Rotary Club. So I know that his family would appreciate your prayers as they go through a very difficult time. Does anyone know of health of the club issues?
Neil McGay is recovering from hip replacement, doing well, his therapy's good, should be back with us in a couple weeks.
Great, good news. Everybody heard that. Neil McGay, he recovering from hip replacement. All right, birthdays. Coming up this week on the 17th, we have two. Charles Snipes has a birthday, and John Watts. Coming on the 20th, Jan Bowmiller thought she was going to get to skip it, but too bad it's highlighted. Jan, happy birthday on the 20th. And Deborah Withy, whose position has taken her away from Hickory for a bit, will celebrate on the 21st. Now, some of my corny one-liners. A thief who stole a calendar got 12 months. A dentist and a manicurist married. They fought tooth and nail. A will is a dead giveaway. Did you hear about the fella whose whole left side was cut off? Well, he's all right now. The guy who fell onto an upholstery machine is now fully recovered. One fella had a photographic memory which never developed. And finally, those who get too big for their pants will be exposed in the end.
I always appreciate those, but they require me to think. Sometimes I have to really think it through. It's a little too much work for us. We have a couple of announcements before we move to the highlight for today. I'd like to give Bill Dodd a moment to make his pitch. Where are you, Bill?
Right here.
There you go.
Taste of Hickory is this Sunday. The posters have been out. We've got up to 50 exhibitors, restaurants, wineries, breweries. You can buy your tickets today, $25 each, $30 at the door. If you can't commit today, you can buy tickets at the Hickory Wine Shop, and we will also be selling them at the farmer's market. So it's a great event, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you, Bill. Alan Finley has an update for us.
Yeah, just a quick little thing about Rotary and Idle. We received some additional monies, pennies from heaven they call it, 1,570 additional dollars. $500 of that came from Rotary Regional Medical Center, thanks to Dana Killian. $870 was received from Lowe's Foods for ticket sales that they did for us. So thanks to Kimberly George and Lamar Mitchell for lining that up. And another $200 was found in our PayPal account via our website for ticket sales. So $1,570 more dollars. And again, thanks to everybody who took part in Rotary and Idle. I think it's a successful year. We had record attendance and some really good talent. Thank you for this. I don't know. Didn't Lynn Lair report what the total gross and net?
Yeah, Lynn did give us that figure when we had our club assembly a few weeks ago, and I'm sorry I don't have the exact number engraved in my brain. We're a little bit behind last year's income for the event, but with some things like this, it's creeping up, but I think we're still going to be a little short of last year's results. And that figure was $58,000, I believe, net. So I think we're looking at about 56 as best I can give you a specific with that. It's pretty good. And this is a great opportunity today to see some of the benefits of what we have done with that hard work. Guy Garino gave me a brief update on the strategic planning process, and I want to offer to him to stand up and explain it, or I'll try to explain it the best I can myself, where we are in that.
Oh, did you?
I'll.
We just had our initial little. We have a larger committee. We pared it down to about 10 just to look at the data. So the data's coming back in. We've had a total of 58 surveys turned in. If you have a survey that you have not turned in, we would love to still see that and make it a part of the study. So it was a great first meeting. We will then be taking that data back to the larger strategic planning committee and formulating some recommendations for board approval.
I apologize for calling on you.
That's okay, thank you.
But just want to make sure that people are kept aware that the planning committee is meeting, progress is being made. The target is to try to have things ready to implement by July, but we might be a little bit over that time frame, so working on that. Also, a reminder to people that next week our program is going to be a technology-oriented program. A lot of people have asked about how to access the database, to get in touch with one another and to find statistics about what our club is doing and what Rotary International is doing. So please bring, for once, I'm asking you to bring your electronic devices, and you are allowed to keep them on during the program, and to learn how to download and access the database. We've checked to see that we do have Wi-Fi available here, and we can do this during the meeting. So encourage you to bring that, and if you don't have anything that you want to use for that, it just might be interesting for you to learn about it and be more aware of what Rotary International is doing to support us as a club. Go ahead now and turn over the program to Thomas Griffiths.
Save your applause for the true star of this afternoon's program. It's good to stand before you, and it is my honor to lead in this presentation today. But before I move into the formal presentation, I need to warn all of us of something we already know. You always have to be careful, because we never know who we may encounter along life's way. Weekend before last, I was hiking the Appalachian Trail in Tennessee. It was a solo trip, so I was by myself. And as I was hiking along, I encountered another hiker, a through hiker, an individual who was hiking from Springer Mountain, Georgia, to Mount Katahdin in Maine. And so he and I were talking a little bit, and he asked, "Where are you from?" I said, "Hickory, North Carolina." He said, "I'm from Hickory, North Carolina too." And he happens to be Bailey Wilfong, who is the grandson of Avery's brother. So I just thought that was really interesting. You never know who you're going to meet along life's way. And so, as my mother used to say always, behave yourself. And Ann Williams, will you give me the source for your one-liners? I have Rotary Moment in a couple weeks, and I really need them.
I protect my sources.
It's Boys Live. Boys Well, like Suzanne said, your one-liners cause us to think just a little bit. Well, since 2005, 30 graduates of Hickory High School have been the recipient of Service Above Self scholarships. And over that period of, how many years is that? 2005, 2014? Some $200,000 in scholarships have been given to these students. Now, if you couple that amount of money with the amount of money that we allocate from our budget for preschool education, specifically Imagination Library, and if you couple that amount of money with the awards that we grant teachers, superlative teachers, in the Hickory public school system, then it's justifiable that our club is known as the Education Club. The Education Club that encourages and supports our children, our youth, and our young adults as they become the kind of adults we need them to become, to live in whatever community they live in, and hopefully it will be ours, and to lead in these communities for the betterment of the people who will be depending on them for generations to come. And so the funding that we allocate for education underscores the importance of our fundraising through Rotarian Idol, and our fundraising through contributions to the Century Club. And if you received, as I received, our Rotary Dues bill and the opportunity to contribute to the Rotary Foundation and the Century Club, then I encourage you to support the Century Club especially, to the fullest extent that you are able, and that is invited. This is the way we really make education happen in our community. Well, before introducing our Service Above Scholarship recipient, and hearing from how serving others has affected her life, as well as those she has served, I want to introduce members of the Service Above Self team. Now, if Steve Mall can have his dream team for advertising for Rotarian Idol, I can have my dream team for Service Above Self. And so I want to invite the Service Above Self dream team to stand as I call your name. Dean Doucette, Linda Lutz, Ann Williams, and Rosemary Bass Young, who I don't think is with, yes, Rosemary, good. Thank you all. And for the first time this year, I want to offer what Mitzi Gelman has titled a Service Below Self award to a member of our team. When members of our team gathered at our house several weeks ago to talk about our process, I prepared some refreshments for everyone. Some chips, some peanuts, some apple slices, and some carrots. Well, we gathered around the table, each bringing our own meal, the refreshments I provided. And I have never seen anyone eat so many carrots as Dean Doucette. He eats more carrots than Bugs Bunny. And so the award, Dean, is a packet of carrots. Will you please come forward and receive your award? Yeah, okay. All right. Well, our Service Above Self Scholarship recipient for 2014 is Tony Ariana Abernathy. She is the daughter of Tammy and Frank Abernathy. Tony's mother, Tammy, knows the value of education because she is a teacher assistant at Snow Creek Elementary School. And in Walter Hart's estimation, she is one of the finest mothers any student can have. Tony will receive a scholarship of $10,000 payable over 4 years to East Carolina University, Tony's school of choice. The Pirates are fortunate to have Tony. She received invitations to enroll at Winston-Salem State University, Appalachian State University, the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, and the University of Alabama. She was accepted by every school to which she applied. She will be an asset to the Purple and Gold. With a keen mind and a servant's heart, she will offer insights and suggestions to her fellow science students and lead her campus associates in programs that enhance understanding and acceptance of people who come from different backgrounds. Now, this is not new for Tony. This is her style, her character. Not only during her 4 years at Hickory High School, but in all the years of her life. After her father suffered a stroke when Tony was a child, she helped take care of him and her younger sister, Darian, as her mother was working. Her love of science and her practice of caring for her father and her sister helped contribute to her decision to become a pediatrician, specializing in neonatology. The Service Above Self Scholarship is given to someone who is a strong student academically, in the top 20% of the class, and who has a financial need for this scholarship, and as the scholarship implies, who is a leader, a demonstrated leader in providing service to family, church, community. These past 4 years, Tony has served with the Hickory High School Beta Club and in the Key Club. She is a member of the National Honor Society. She is a member of the Hickory City Youth Council and the YMCA Black Achievers. She has worked with 6th graders as a wildlife leader, and for 7 years, she has been a YMCA volunteer serving whenever and wherever requested. She received the YMCA Teen Character Award in 2011 and 2013. She was named the YMCA Black Achiever of the Year in 2011 and 2012. And she was a finalist in the school's homecoming court. One of Tony's strengths and love is science. Lisa Edwards, her physics teacher and the science department chair, writes, "She works very hard to maintain her academics and knows the importance of acquiring knowledge through questioning and investigation." Regarding her leadership skills, Dave Leonetti, with the city of Hickory, who is the development manager with the city of Hickory, describes Tony as one of the true leaders of the Hickory Youth Council. The Hickory Youth Council, for those of you who may not know, is a group of 25 youth high school students who are appointed by the Hickory City Council to provide input on youth issues, to learn about city government, and to perform community service. Tony was appointed prior to her freshman year in high school, and she has served as the vice chair of the council and now serves as the chairperson of the council. Her attitude toward service is astounding, as you may already gather from reading the comments in the Rotary Spoke cover article. I personally benefited as I read Tony's essay that she wrote in support of her application for the Service Above Self scholarship. At the risk of preempting what Tony is going to share with you in just a few moments, allow me to read several of the pearls of wisdom beyond what I included in the spoke. Listen to what Tony wrote. "Serving others is like a life class." Let that settle for a moment. Serving others is like a life class. Second, I find serving others to be an exodus from ordinary life. I get to step into a world that is unlike the one I see in my own day-to-day life. This world is one of non-judgment and love for all who dare to be a part of it. Third, service helps to enhance our mind, body, and soul. I serve others so that I can hope to have made a difference in a person's life by the end of my own. Pearls of wisdom. Tony's life history and perspective on service lend truth to a statement by Helen Keller. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, success achieved. One thing more before you hear from Tony. At the end of her interview with us, Tony handed us a thank you note addressed to all Rotarians. She wrote, "Dear Rotarians, thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to connect with all of you today. I also would like to thank you for all you do in the community. I appreciate the time you set aside to be able to meet with me today. Thank you again for all you do. Kindly, Tony Abernathy." The note, frankly unheard of. The message, truly characteristic of a bright, thoughtful, caring young woman, well crafted, and Tammy well raised by her parents, her church, this community. Tony, we are thankful for you, your mom, your dad, your sister, your church, your community, and we are pleased and honored to present to you the 2014 Service Above Self Scholarship.
Thank you so much, Mr. Griffiths. And all the people on the scholarship board, I know I'm kind of short. I would just like to say good afternoon. It is a great honor to have the opportunity to be able to stand in front of you all today. I also would like to thank the Rotary Club for allowing me to tell you a little bit about myself after Mr. Griffiths has already said a lot. Thank you so much. I'm humbly honored that you all saw me fit to receive your Rotary Scholarship. It is a great need in my life to receive this amount of money. It will actually help me and to be able to fulfill my dreams and to finish walking on the path of success, which I hope to reach one day. Well, now to the point why I'm actually standing in front of you today. Mr. Griffiths has told me to speak about my service, and I hope to do a good and okay job. And service has helped me to understand that no matter how rough my life is going at any given time, there's always someone who is going through something even more difficult. And not only should I always thank God for all His many blessings, but take those blessings and help the ones around me that need it the most. Life is all about perspectives. Putting yourself in the person beside you's shoes. By doing this, we learn to love each other in ways we never thought were possible. We learn how to accept them for their strengths and their weaknesses. If you take the time to think about it, the world is just a huge life class, like he told me, like as he said, I said in my essay. In this life class, God is our teacher, and we have to learn to be non-judgmental and accept people for who they truly are. And that's how I try to live my life. My mom has raised me to not judge others because you never know who's going to be your boss one day. The person you may call geek in high school will be the CEO of the biggest company in the world, and he may not want to give you a job if you're mean to him. So try not to judge him for what he is now, because it's a pearl. And just receiving this scholarship it's just a great honor. I can't thank you all enough for everything that you have done in the community and what you have done for me. And I would just like to say thank you again.
Part of our message to Tony today, in addition to acknowledging and recognizing all of her achievements, is to encourage her to pay it forward. We can never, ever pay back what our predecessors have done for us, and we have an opportunity only to pay it forward, and that's what we're hopefully facilitating for her. We encourage you, we always hope and dream when we support someone that they'll come back to our community and be part of life here in Hickory, but we realize that's not always the case. We encourage you to consider becoming a Rotarian wherever you are. We have done this and enjoyed this, and as you know, you've already experienced that we always receive a lot more than we give when we're involved in service, and so it's a great feeling to be able to help you to accomplish your dreams, and we encourage you to help others along the way as well. So thank you for that. And it's really kind of a neat segue into our Service Above Self Scholarship raffle. We try to make it fun. Part of what we're doing for you is a fun thing. I am going to invite David Myers to come forward as we're moving towards this week's raffle. We had a pretty neat experience last week. David had to leave early. We had a pretty long meeting last week. It was another wonderful meeting where we were giving to people, but he had given his ticket to Pastor Bill, his own pastor, Pastor Bill Miller-Zarell, who's not here today to accept this recognition, but with the four-way test, Pastor Bill admitted that it was David's ticket that he was carrying to the front, and he drew the card, and he was the winner, and so now David gets the check, and we'll encourage David to pay it forward too. So, but that this, we do have a winner, so we're starting over again today. And we'd like to let Tony draw the ticket to see who gets to be next in The Price is Right.
Hey, what a privilege it is to have this duty today on this special day for you. Congratulations. There you go.
And the winning ticket number today is 744-7952. Yeah, sure. It's David again. We'll let Tony check his number and make sure. See if they match. So he gets to pull a card from the. I'd like you to preach it.
Grand prize is $60. We collected $60 today.
And it's the ace of diamonds today. So he gets a free lunch, which encourages him to come back and try again. Can a statistician give us the odds on that? Okay. Almost time to wrap up. I want to remind you to be generous in your contributions to the Coins for Alzheimer's Research Trust, that we sort of have gotten away from that a little bit, and as all of us are slipping in our memory, please remember that we need some help with this. Online makeup instructions are in the spoke. With Jennifer and others' great efforts, we now have our meetings are being videoed, and you can actually check out what you missed at our meeting for a makeup, and that is an option that's available to you online. If you're comfortable doing that, we can help you with that if you need some help. So we have a board meeting next Tuesday at noon at the Moretz boardroom of the Salt Block for anybody who wants to come attend a board of directors meeting. Let's rise and close with the four-way test. As Rotarians, of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth?